I'm going to throw my initial comments about Last of Us. We haven't recorded since the first episode, first two?
First-ish, yeah.
First-ish.
Oh, wow. Okay.
We intentionally were kind of like meh when the third episode came out because the third was the big gay ambush. And basic précis of our conversation of the big gay ambush in episode 3 with Ron Swanson was best episode, most interesting, best acting, most compelling. But also, we recognize it as the woke big gay ambush that it is. And, I kind of feel duty-bound to be a little bit offended about tactics like that. And yet still, pretty good episode. Episode 4, episode 5 are general thoughts and feelings about the show. Here's me. I'm going to start off. First of all, I don't know if I was unjustly hard on Bella Ramsey and her being cast as Ellie. And I actually made the statement that Nico Parker, Thandie Newton's daughter, I actually said they should have swapped those two actresses and it would have been better. But I think she has really, I don't know if it's come a long way or just had more moments. The whole like father-daughter, her making jokes, her making her bad puns. I think she's really come up in my estimation, and I'm getting to like her very much in that role. So, number 1, I like Bella Ramsey better. Number 2, I really, really, really liked episode 4. And then episode 5, I really, really liked. I think it's gone in leaps and bounds beyond what 1 through 3 was. I think 4 and 5 have been highlights. And if they keep going in this direction, then, fuck yeah. So that's me.
Yeah, I'm kind of bored by the whole thing.
I will say in episode 4, when she just shows her the room and the floor is like buckling a little bit, legitimately a freaky, scary scene. The hell is going on? Because I played the games and I didn't know what the hell was going on.
And that was foreshadowing for the sinkhole.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was the cutscene they had after the mid-episode save point.
But it was a legitimately freaky scene where they basically just say, keep this in the back of your mind. But I'm like, what the hell is going on here?
Here's a video game that's making a good effort at becoming good live action. Something that has either like crashed and burned so hard or has been mediocre at best. And they're actually somewhat like having some inklings of pulling it off. Some like little splow, little bit's happening. And you're going to like start like complaining about cutscenes.
Well, yes.
He does through the whole thing.
You got to let it go.
It's just very obvious to me when it's happening and where it's happening.
It's not like it's fucking Doom with The Rock and the first person.
It kind of is.
They have yet to do the first-person shooter cam like they do in so many of these movies.
Thank God.
There's just so many points where it's like, hey, guys, remember when this happened in the game?
That's not a bad thing. If they would have done that more in The Witcher, we'd still be watching The Witcher.
That's true.
And having not played the game, it's extremely apparent to me when they're doing it. I don't get the woo, I just get the eye roll.
So 4 and 5 bored you, Rob. Andrew, what you got?
At the end, at the climax in 5, when the sinkhole happens.
And the big giant cauliflower monster?
Well, but when they're doing the wave and they're ripping people apart, but then you see a second wave eventually arrive, and it's just so many more, and you're like, oh, wow, I guess they're going to take the entire city now. Like, that entire city's going to get consumed now.
Yeah, that gives me fond memories of World War Z.
Dude, it was not anywhere near. That scene that we saw in Last of Us was probably about, I'd say, 80 to 95% actual practical actors, whereas World War Z was 0% actual practical actors. The little girl doing her little creepy-ass gymnastics in the back of the truck, that was just like, oh, skeevy, oh, it's so creepy, oh.
Clicker, yeah, oh my God, yeah.
And she's all flipping around and shit. Yeah, that was practical as hell. That was a little girl gymnast. When she shows up, do you start looking around for Charlie Sheen and Jonathan Cryer?
Nice.
And did you know that her, in real life, the actress, I just found this out when I was watching a review of that episode because I had no idea. She's New Zealander.
Fascinating.
Wow, amazing.
Yeah, I've seen her in numerous roles, and I've never once seen her do her original.
People don't live in New Zealand. It's just hobbits and Xena.
Rob, you didn't like 4 and 5. Andrew, did you like 4 and 5? Are you?
It's okay. I am more impressed once I talk to normies that have not played the game and seeing the whole thing through their eyes. It's really connecting with people. They are freaking out. They love this show.
A suggestion. I don't know if you guys' like personal time schedules will do this, but from now on, since there's like a hard division here where I'm getting better, and Rob's like, I think y'all should watch it separately.
I normally like watching it the first time alone with the subtitles on.
Yeah.
It's in a lot of ways worse than Walking Dead. And I will tell you exactly why. They're both equal amounts of boring, but this one, Last of Us, also features unkillable main characters. I mean, Walking Dead, anybody could buy it at any time. During an action scene, you're kind of a little on the edge of your seat because you don't know who's going to buy it. I am bored during their action scenes because I know everybody's going to survive. Everybody being our two main characters.
I could level that same criticism against 99.9% of shows ever out there. You liked Netflix's version of Daredevil.
Oh, fucking awesome. Hell yeah.
You didn't think Karen or Foggy or Daredevil were ever going to die.
No, that's true. However, there was not a other version of Daredevil, very similar to it, but another version of Daredevil where they did regularly kill off main characters.
Tess was regarded initially as a main character if you didn't play the video game or have foreknowledge. She died. There's not unkillable main characters. I was a big fan of Walking Dead for many, many, many seasons. So Walking Dead so far eclipses the living out of Last of Us.
I don't agree at all because I feel The Walking Dead was the first season was the best and the first season was just okay.
I didn't like the first season that much because Rick had that big giant hat that eventually Carl started wearing around. I didn't like that. I didn't like him as a character.
Carl.
I liked when they got to the prison. I liked when Michonne showed up because in the comics, that was awesome. The parts of the show that hewed most closely to the comic were probably the best, right?
Everything that The Walking Dead I felt always did wrong, The Last of Us gets right. Just the way the environment looks, the way like people don't look super clean and polished like we do today, but they're taking showers and they're 20 years on. Like that's what people would go back to, looking like they're like living in the Old West or something. Like people knew how to bathe themselves.
The Walking Dead was like immediately after the zombie apocalypse up to maybe 5 years.
And it looks like they never showered once.
They probably didn't have time for it. They're busy. Well, okay. Let me say this about zombie apocalypses. Zombies are the stupidest thing in the world. Fast zombies, slow zombies, whatever. Their main source of reproduction is also their main source of food. That's so stupid. Like all these people becoming zombies, those are the ones that just got a little bite and they managed to run away, right? You could do that from slow zombies, but fast zombies, you're probably going to get your ass tackled and swarmed and gangbanged by zombies. Zombies, they don't make sense. There's no evolutionary...
That's probably why I like The Last of Us so much. I like the environment where they took something from science and from nature.
Fungal. Yeah, the whole thing is funguses, fungi.
Yeah. And that some of them have just been living for 20 years and they slowly evolve into these new things. Like, I like that.
Do y'all say fungi or fungi?
Fungi.
So do I. Rob?
Oh, definitely a fun guy.
Okay, if there are any fungi people out there, comment.
I like that they are evolving. They have an interesting sci-fi reason why the creatures are evolving. I know it's a video game and they have to have different bosses and stuff.
Yeah, we saw our first boss creature, right? That was the big giant cauliflower.
Yeah. I forget what they call those. Yeah, but you couldn't do anything with those. You got your flamethrower out and you could possibly damage a little bit so you could get away. I hated it. And it was always cramped little rooms you fought them in.
The whole popularity, everything, it wasn't about it was such a good action shoot 'em up game. It was the relationship in the story. That's why The Last of Us was popular, right? It was well written. I guess my point is why I think the show is improving is because they got rid of Tess, they got rid of all the ancillary characters, and now it's Joe and it's Ellie. It's their survival quest, their father-daughter relationship, that whole dynamic. And that's where I think Bella Ramsey's really starting to shine. We know Pedro is kicking ass. I think it is definitely getting better. Obviously, time will tell. Hopefully, we all keep watching it and keeping on with it. Rob, I think you're going to come around eventually. I'm going to get you a Bella Ramsey's #1 fan t-shirt.